Operation Valkyrie. Ano nga ba ito? Operation Valkyrie was one of the biggest assassination failures in the history of the world, which happened in the World War II. Let me explain further. Operation Valkyrie is a covert emergency strategy devised by the Führer himself, Adolf Hitler. It was intended to address potential civil disorder arising from Allied bombing or uprisings among foreign forced laborers in German factories. The plan aimed to transfer control to the Territorial Reserve Army, granting Nazi leaders and the SS. SS means Schutzstaffel, meaning in English, Protection Squadron, an opportunity to escape.
History Trivia, ang kasaysayan na dapat mong malaman. Kung mahilig ka sa kwento ng nakaraan, sining, gyera at agham. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell, para dalhin ka rin ang aking kwento sa nakaraan.
So what really went wrong? So this is what happened. On the 20th of July 1944, Adolf Hitler and ranking Nazi military officials gathered at the Wolf's Lair in Rosenberg in eastern Prussia. As they settled down to discuss troop movements on the Eastern Front, a sudden explosion disrupted the atmosphere of the conference room. Hitler's lifeless body could be seen sprawled across the table through the smoke. Tila maaari makita na ang Europa ay sa wakas ay makakakita na pag-asa para sa kaligtasan mula sa pang-aapi ng mga Nazi noong mga panahong iyon. During this moment in history, si Claus von Stauffenberg at ang kanyang mga kasamang conspirators briefly believed that they had successfully changed the course of World War II. Sa potensyal na pagkaligtas ng libu-libong buhay, sa kasamaang palad, ang kilalang July Plot o Operation Valkyrie ay nabigo dahil sa mga misteryosong kadahilanan na nananatiling hindi maipaliwanag hanggang sa ngayon. And this is their clever strategy. The conspiracy to eliminate Hitler had to exploit this plan to wrest control from the SS, as only Hitler's death would absolve SS members of their loyalty oath, sworn to death. Simply arresting Hitler would incur the wrath of the entire SS, and assassination was the only option. The ingenious plan was formulated by General Albright and Major General von Treschow of the German Army, in collaboration with Claus von Stauffenberg, who took it upon himself to carry out the assassination to minimize the risk of failure. Originally, the plan also involved the elimination of Himmler and Goering. Their demise was to coincide with a meeting at the Wolf's Lair on the 20th of July, year 1944, where Stauffenberg was scheduled to provide an update on the status of the German army, triggering the plan into action. By the summer of 1944, a significant portion of the German population, including numerous senior military figures, had begun to despair of Germany's chances of winning the war. Many held Hitler responsible for leading the country towards disaster. Prominent politicians and high-ranking military officials conceived a plan to assassinate Hitler by placing a bomb during a meeting at the Wolfschanz, or the Wolf's Lair, one of Hitler's military command centers. Their objective was to spark a political reorganization na pinangalanan nilang the Operation Valkyrie. The concept behind the plan was that, following Hitler's demise, the military would assert that the assassination had been part of an attempted coup by the Nazi Party. The reserve army would then seize vital installations in Berlin and apprehend top Nazi leaders. A new government would be established, with Karl Friedrich Goerdeler as Chancellor of Germany and Ludwig Beck as the President. The primary goal of this new government was to negotiate an end to the war, preferably securing favorable terms for Germany. Para sa karamihan sa kanila, ito ay isang paraan lamang upang maiwasan ang militarisasyon, habang iba ay nagnanais na mailigtas kahit papano ang integridad ng bansa. Pinili nila ang isang batang colonel ng German Army na may pangalang Claus von Stauffenberg upang isagawa ang pagtatangkang ito. Si Stauffenberg ay isang tapat na nasyonalista, bagamat hindi siya opisyal na miyembro ng Nazi Party. Sa huli, naging paniniwala niya na ito ay kanyang tungkulin bilang isang makabayan, na alisin si Adolf Hitler kung nais silang mailigtas ang bansa. Nevertheless, Hitler had experienced numerous assassination attempts before, starting from the late 1930s during his rapid ascent in Germany's political landscape. Assassination plots against him had become commonplace as his paranoia escalated. Hitler constantly altered his schedule without advance notice. So what went wrong to the plan? On the same day, the 20th of July 1944, Stauffenberg arrived at the Wolfschanz bunker. The conspirators had originally planned for the meeting to be held in a secure, windowless underground bunker with a heavy steel door. This choice of location was intended to ensure that any explosion would be contained, instantly killing those near the explosive device. However, July 20 turned out to be an extremely hot day, prompting the meeting organizers to relocate it to a wooden bunker above the ground that offered better ventilation. This new room had multiple windows, a wooden table, and decorative furnishings, which would significantly reduce the impact of potential explosion, as the energy would be absorbed and dispersed. Despite being aware of this change, tinuloy pa rin ni Stauffenberg ang kanilang plano, believing the two bombs could still effectively destroy the room and its occupants. Upon arrival, Stauffenberg excused himself to a private chamber, claiming he needed to change his shirt. In reality, he needed to arm the two explosive devices. However, an unexpected phone call and a hurried knock on his door left him with only enough time to arm one of the two devices, effectively decreasing the potential blast into half. Recognizing that the reduced explosive power required him to get as close to Hitler as possible to cause any damage, Stauffenberg exploited the pretext of damage hearing due to injuries. He secured a seat as close to Hitler as he could, with just one other person between him and the Führer, placing the suitcase as near to Hitler as possible. Stauffenberg left the room under the disguise of making a personal phone call. Sa pagitan ng mga oras na iyon, isa pang opisyal ang umupo sa upuan ni Stauffenberg. At nang hindi namalayan, inilipat ang briefcase sa isang lokasyon sa kabilang bahagi ng wooden leg na sumusuporta sa meeting table. And this is the aftermath. Precisely at 12:42 p.m., the bomb exploded. Sparking panic, a stenographer lost her life instantly, and 20 individuals sustained injuries, including 3 officers who later succumbed to their wounds. Believing that Hitler had met his end, Stauffenberg and his accomplice Werner von Haeften hastily commanded a staff car, successfully navigating their way to pass 3 different military checkpoints to escape the turmoil at the Wolfschanz complex. Contrary to their expectations, Hitler, shielded by the sturdy wooden table leg, survived the blast with only minor scrapes and a perforated eardrum. His trousers were in tatters, and Nazi leadership later exploited photographs of the damaged pants as part of a propaganda campaign. Historian Ian Kershaw noted that conflicting reports regarding Hitler's fate emerged in the wake of the explosion. Despite the chaos, the reserve army in Berlin began apprehending high-ranking Nazi officials. However, the plan unraveled due to delays, poor communications, and the revelation that Hitler was still alive. So what happened to the people involved in the assassination? Sa mga kaganapang sumunod pagkatapos ng ika-20 ng Hulyo 1944, isinabuhay ni Hitler ang isang malupit na paghihiganti. On the very night of July 20th, General Friedrich Fromm hastily convened an ad hoc court-martial, leading to the condemnation of the leaders of the conspiracy to death. Beck took his own life, while Stauffenberg, von Haeften, Albrecht, and another officer, Albrecht Merz von Quernheim, faced a makeshift firing squad in the Wenderblock courtyard. Stauffenberg was the third in line to face execution, but von Haeften bravely positioned himself between Stauffenberg and the firing squad, sacrificing himself to save Stauffenberg. In the following August, Stauffenberg's brother Berthold was among 8 conspirators, executed through a slow strangulation which was execution through hanging and eventually beheaded that same day at Plötzensee prison process in Berlin. This entire gruesome execution was filmed for Hitler's perverse viewing. Over the ensuing months, it is estimated that more than 7,000 Germans were either killed or sent to concentration camps as Hitler sought revenge against the adversaries of the Third Reich. And this is the story of the Operation Valkyrie, which was Adolf Hitler's assassination attempt. They also produced a movie about this, and I encourage you to watch it to better understand Operation Valkyrie. I hope you like this video, and if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell para updated ka sa aming mga videos. Once again, my name is Jay, saying, Chessmate.